If the thought of finding a niche and sticking to it for the rest of your business life and to the exclusion of all your other passions makes you want to poke a needle in your eye, you're my people. I have found another way, so stick with me. I have found another approach which makes you feel empowered instead of restricted. It makes you feel authentic and it works. So the problem of creating a niche and sticking with it is that it can make you, if you're a multi-passionate person, and don't most people have different interests? If you're a multi-passionate person and you're trying to fit into a particular strategy, you just feel inside you something wants to rebel and say no, because the point is you make a business so that you can create your own life, design the life the way you want it, and then you end up buying yourself a straitjacket. What's the point? You don't need that. It might work for some people. It doesn't work for me. Maybe it depends on how your brain is wired. But if you're watching me, if you're watching this video, we probably have a few things in common. For me, for example, I have different interests. I might have different interests to you, but like you, I have different interests in my life. I am a podcast manager and coach. I'm a mum. I am a YouTuber. I have a kids' music channel besides this one. And I'm a podcaster. I'm a singer-songwriter for grown-ups as well as children. I'm a spiritual seeker. I'm an adventurer. I'm an activist. I'm all of the things, right? I'm someone who's interested in health and well-being, and there's just not one side to me. And your passions might be different, but I'm sure you have different things that you're interested in too. You have parts of yourself that you have achieved that you're proud of. You have things that you feel perhaps aren't actualized yet that you yearn to fulfill. You want to be healthy. You want to have good relationships. You have a mission, you want to make a positive impact on the world, you want to do something meaningful, and you want to have an abundant life while you do it, and you want to do it on your terms. You have all these parts to yourself. So doesn't it figure that the same applies to our audience, to your audience? Do you think someone wants to sit around listening to, for example, I'm a podcast manager, but does someone want to listen to tips and tricks and conversations about podcasts all day, every day? Is that the only thing that if I do podcasting that anyone will want to hear about? Is that the only thing? Like if you have a business doing a particular thing, is that the only thing that your audience is interested in? You can genuinely be interested in more than one thing and want to talk about more than one thing. And if you create yourself as a personal brand, you give yourself opportunities to be able to take people on the journey with you and to be a whole ass person. You know, you don't have to be this one-dimensional tips and tricks guru. You are here to be everything you can be in this life. So don't restrict yourself. You don't have to. Okay, that's all well and good, Olivia, but how do I market my business? What about the whole niche thing? Now, there are marketing strategies around. I'm not here to argue with them. They work, and if you can implement them and not feel like you're losing your soul in the process, fine, go for it and knock yourself out. But for people who are multi-passionate, who are purpose-driven, and who just can't stand the idea of only being able to talk about one thing, this is for you. It can feel inauthentic if you're implementing marketing techniques that don't align with your ability to talk about different aspects of yourself. So the marketing advice is figure out what your ideal avatar is, and then you might go and think, okay, ideal avatar is, I probably should think of someone who's got money. Who's got money? Maybe I should deal with finance brokers and real estate agents and lawyers. And then what keeps them up at night so that I can agitate their pain points and write content that's meaningful to them. It all ends up being inauthentic because really, as though you probably do care about the people, but you don't care about those particular industries necessarily, like if it's not your thing. So there is another way. And the answer is to be you, but there's more than just being you. It's being you and solving your problems and then sharing your journey and sharing your problems along the way and selling your solution to said problems. If you talk about things that you are really interested in, you're not going to be the only person in the world that's interested in those things. So if you want a heart-led, purpose-led, authentic way to help others, it's by stepping into your power, being as you can possibly be, noticing the problems in your own life, finding the solutions to the problems in your own life and speaking about that, because that will be genuine. That'll be something you actually care about, and that'll be something that other people are also going through, and they will recognize themselves in you, and they will define themselves. They will define themselves. I am your ideal avatar because you are speaking to me, when really you're just speaking to you. You're speaking with a true desire to help others about things that you really care about because you've experienced them. And all you have to do is be yourself. We tend to forget about our own power. We tend to discount our own innate wisdom, and we have to look externally to strategies. But if the strategies don't fit us because we're multi-passionate and don't fit into the box, your power is in being you and doing things your way. See what problems you have in your life. Learn. And the way to learn is by implementing, because that's, if you learn for the sake of learning, then it might be boring. But if you learn because you're trying to solve a problem and a goal that you care about, then you learn like a sponge. And then when you turn around and teach it to someone else, then you learn it even more. And that becomes your marketing strategy. That becomes your niche. When we unlock something for ourselves that feels like an epiphany, share it, because it's going to be a breakthrough for someone else as well. I have gone on a journey of discovery myself to figure this stuff out. A couple of years ago, I realized about myself that I have ADHD. I didn't even know. I thought that was like young boys bouncing off the walls, until I found out about executive dysfunction and losing your keys and having a messy home and not being able to keep things organized, and this thing about being multi-passionate and wanting to go in different directions all the time. And that has been part of what's made me realize that I have to unlock my superpowers and figure out that I was designed this way. It wasn't a mistake. It's not a dysfunction. I was designed, we're all made to go off on a tangent, because that's what I do with ADHD, is we were born, I'm going to reveal my spiritual side. We were born, like they say, image and likeness of God. That might put off some people if you assign that to religion, but I think of it more as spirituality, so source or whatever. We were designed and given all the things that we were meant to in this life to fulfill our destiny. So there's nothing wrong with the way your brain is. There's nothing wrong with the way you were designed. There's nothing wrong with you struggling to find a niche. There's nothing wrong with you. You're made perfect. Your power is stepping into you, being more you, being more and more and more and more and more you. That's where your power is. Show that, reveal that. You are your own niche. So if that's helpful for you, please hit subscribe. If you want to share your message on podcasts, I teach you how to do that. So check the links and subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye. Stay fearless, hit subscribe, and let's dive into the next episode.